Hello everyone. In this lecture, we have started fifth module. The first concept in this fifth module is integration of hardware and firmware. There are certain techniques for integrating the program into the memory chip. The first method is out of circuit method. Second one is in system programming, and third one is in application programming, and fourth one is factory program chip, and last one is firmware integration for OS based system. Here the integration means downloading the program into the hardware or a processor chip. This process is called integration, which means we are going to download or fuse the required program into the memory chip of the embedded system. The first integration technique is out of circuit programming. The name itself indicates that out of circuit it is, which means we need to take out the memory chip from the embedded system and we need to fuse the required program into that memory chip, and we need to insert that memory chip later into the embedded system. So we have the diagram here. The PC, that is personal computer, it contains utility program, that is software meant for the downloading. So we have used some types of interfacing cables here, that is RS-232 cable we have used for integrating the program into the memory. So we have taken the memory and we have inserted it in a socket, and we have downloaded the program from the PC into the memory. Okay, and later we have to insert this memory into the embedded system. So here we have to take out the memory chip from the embedded system. So and we have to download the program and we have to insert it into later into the embedded system. And second method, that is in system programming. Here also the name itself indicates it is in system. In this method we do not have to remove the chip and download the program. Instead we can download the program on the target board itself. So we need not to remove the chip from the embedded system here. So for that, here we have a diagram, that is PC master. It will have utility program, and in this PC master we will have boot ROM, that is a read only memory. And boot ROM, it takes care of downloading the program into the target board. So here we have used some types of interfacing cables, that is ISP cable we have used, like RS-232 we can use, SPI UART we can use. So the SPI is a serial peripheral interface. The UART is universal asynchronous receiver transmitter cables. We can use different communication cables. So it is target board or it is embedded system. On this embedded system we will have memory chip. Directly we can download the required program from the PC into the target board using some communication interfaces. So the serial data required for SPI is taken care by the utility program, which is stored in the boot ROM in this technique. Okay, and the target board can have any target of the processor or memory chip, which means the embedded system itself is what? It is a target board. So on that target board we will have memory chips, so we can directly download the program into that memory chip in this technique. And third one is in application programming. So in this method, in application programming method, so it is same as the ISP, that is in system programming, and it cannot be used if we are using software or a firmware and hardware for the first time. So which means the in application programming method cannot be used for first time. for the embedded system. Okay, so first it should be go to the ISP, that is in system programming. Later, or so boot ROM, what it does, it will be running. Suppose if we want to change the program or change the data, we can use user code instead of boot ROM here. So we will use here some types of flags. If the status flag bit is 1, so we are using it boot ROM. If it is 0, the user code will be running, and user code will be running on the embedded system. So this is what in application programming. And fourth one is that is factory programmed chip. So in this method, it is not programmable. So once the program is used, we cannot change it. Okay, so we will have the embedded, it will be manufactured in the what a certain silicon chip based companies. So in that company only the program will be inserted into that particular embedded system. So and we cannot change that program. And last method is firmware integration for OS based system. So this method is also same as ISP, that is in system programming, but here we have boot coder, and we create an image of an entire thing, that is actual OS and the required firmware in the RAM, and then using the RAM for downloading the program into the desired embedded system. So here we use RAM instead of ROM. In system programming we use ROM, boot ROM we use, but whereas in firmware integration for OS based system we use RAM for inserting the required program into the embedded system. Thank you.